deportes. Estamos en el entrenamiento de Portugal en Al-Shahania, donde Portugal debutará el 24 de noviembre ante Ghana, un rival al cual ya venció en la Copa del Mundo en Brasil 2014 con marcador 2-1. Curiosamente, en ese encuentro nos tocó Cristiano Ronaldo y el equipo, que estarán nuevamente convocados para Qatar 2022. Portugal tuvo algunos problemas para clasificar a esta Copa del Mundo debido a una derrota agónica en casa ante Serbia, con un gol del jugador del Fulham, Alexander Mitrovic, y eso los mandó a la repesca. Afortunadamente para ellos, sellaron su pase a Qatar sin ningún contratiempo. Los mejores resultados de Portugal en la Copa del Mundo fue aquel tercer lugar en Inglaterra 66, de la mano de Eusebio, la portera negra. Y en Alemania 2006, con Figo a la cabeza y un joven de apenas 21 años llamado Cristiano Ronaldo, alcanzaron el cuarto lugar. Por lo que la misión en Qatar 2022 deberá ser alcanzar la primera final de su historia y, por qué no, ilusionarse con la Copa del Mundo, la cual ya amenazó Cristiano, que si la ganan, él se retiraría del fútbol. Portugal estará en el grupo H, junto con las selecciones de Uruguay, Ghana y Corea del Sur. Sin ser un grupo sencillo, el conjunto europeo asoma como el gran favorito, creas una plantilla que probablemente sea la mejor de su historia, a partir de una combinación de futbolistas consagrados en el máximo nivel internacional con jóvenes promesas que ya son una realidad. En la lista pasada experimentario Rui Patricio y en el repechaje de la UEFA encaminado a ser el número 1 en el arco de Portugal. La defensa Rubén Díaz y Pepe parecen ser los baluartes que van a proteger esta portería de Portugal, y obviamente Nuno Méndez y Joao Cancelo, que jugarán por las bandas. En medio campo Rubén Neves parece el favorito para tomar ese puesto de pivote, va acompañado de Vitinha como volante mixto y obviamente Bruno Fernández de Manchester United como un volante más ofensivo. La delantera tendría que ser integrada por Cristiano Ronaldo, Fernando Silva y Rafael Leao, este joven que ha sorprendido en el Milán y que poco a poco se empieza a meter en la élite europea. Portugal sufrió un duro golpe cuando la estrella de Liverpool, Diogo Jota, quedó descartado para Qatar 2022 después de que sufrió una grave lesión en la pantorrilla y esto lo dejó fuera de este mundial. El versátil atacante estaba proyectado para compartir el ataque con Cristiano y con Bernardo Silva, sin embargo, esa ausencia va a pesar un poquito en el conjunto de Fernando Santos. Podemos ver cómo poco a poco empiezan a ingresar los jugadores a la cancha y a hacer los ejercicios de calentamiento. En este momento, en la hora local de Qatar, son las 5:30 de la tarde. Como podrán ver, ya es de noche y en tierras cataríes. Este estadio de Al-Shahania es apenas de 13.000 personas. No será donde debute la selección portuguesa, ya que debutará en un estadio mucho más amplio, mucho más nuevo y mucho más imponente en ese partido ante Ghana. Ese juego será el 24, como ya lo mencionamos, que será ante Ghana, y les voy a decir el estadio que se llama el Estadio 974, que está impresionante, podrán verlo a través de Telemundo Deportes y Pico. Hay que mencionar también que el conjunto de Portugal viene a atravesar una polémica con la situación de Cristiano Ronaldo y el poco juego que ha tenido en los últimos meses. Se ha mencionado mucho que la afición dice que Cristiano Ronaldo ya no está para el máximo nivel, y muchos sus defensores no jugó por una gastroenteritis y no pudo estar presente en el amistoso que Portugal ganó. Esperemos que Cristiano, o al menos parece que está completamente al 100% y va a ser titular, y es una de las máximas estrellas que tendrá esta Copa del Mundo. Podemos ver poco a poco los arqueros empiezan a tomar su lugar en el calentamiento de la portería, y que obviamente superan su falta de actividad, y que obviamente estará completamente listo, sano y perfectas condiciones para ser el arquero importante, el delantero importante de la selección portuguesa. Vamos también, otra de las bajas por lesión técnica, destaca el experimentado José Fonté, que juega en la Ligue 1 de Francia, de igual con su compañero que es Thiago Diallo, que tampoco va a jugar, y laterales de renombre o que fueron nacidos en las convocatorias como Nelson Semedo en el medio campo, a João Moutinho, que es jugador del Wolverhampton, que tampoco va a estar, y Gonzalo Guedes, que se fue a Inglaterra cuando el Valencia, tampoco va a estar, junto con Pedro Neto, también ambos del Wolverhampton. Vemos como y empiezan a hacer algunos ejercicios de dominio del balón los jugadores portugueses, y vamos a tratar de seguir sus comentarios aquí a través de las redes sociales del Mundo Deportes con Instagram. Dicen que edad tiene CR7, está próximo a cumplir 38 años, o sea, ya es un jugador bastante veterano, pero sigue teniendo la calidad indiscutible que ha demostrado a lo largo de su carrera. Sigamos viendo saludos a todos los que se conectan. Dice que sí, tiene 38 años, nos contesta, con Siu, dice la afición portuguesa. Nos están mandando saludos a través de nuestra aplicación Telemundo Deportes. Como pueden observar, no vamos a tener acceso a todo el entrenamiento, aproximadamente solo unos 10 minutos es lo que se nos permitió estar en la práctica. Y Portugal, este cuadro aspira a ganar todo. Realmente es una base muy sólida, es un equipo importante. La hora catarí, la repito, son las 5:30 de la tarde, pues, aunque ya es oscuro. Y podemos, también me comentan que si va a jugar Diego Costa, ¿es el arquero? Sí, parece ser el indicado para cubrir la portería bajo el mando de Fernando Santos, en lugar de Rui Patricio, que había sido el arquero en la última Euro. Sigamos revisando comentarios de los aficionados que quieren estar enterados de todo lo que pasa con la selección portuguesa, y vamos a esperar un poquito que empiecen a hacer más movimientos, que empiecen a soltarse, controlando el balón, haciendo todos los ejercicios necesarios para empezar a soltar las piernas. Sigamos, nos escriben preguntándonos de qué equipos de entrenamiento es la selección de Portugal, con Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernández, João Félix. Cristiano anotará en el primer juego. Esa es una de las apuestas, ¿no? Creemos que Cristiano pudiera estar en su máximo nivel del mundo. ¿Dónde está el bicho? Lo podemos ver un poquito más al fondo. Vamos a tratar de acercarlo un poquito, a ver si lo pueden apreciar, ya que estamos algo distanciados de lo que es la cancha, porque es hasta donde se nos permite acceder. Podemos ver que ahí está Cristiano. Vamos a tratar de acercar un poquito la toma para que puedan ver al portugués, una de las más grandes estrellas de esta Copa del Mundo. Lo que antes mencionar es que no se pierda la cobertura de la Copa del Mundo de Qatar 2022 a través de las plataformas digitales de Telemundo Deportes, Telemundo y Pico TV. Sigamos viendo poco a poco cómo empiezan ya, continúan con los ejercicios de calentamiento, estiramiento, todo lo necesario para prevenir alguna lesión. Creo que por esta Copa del Mundo ha habido muchos ausentes, y se ha notado con grandes ausencias de estrellas importantes, como ya mencionamos algunas de Portugal. Díganos en los comentarios, ¿ustedes creen que Portugal puede ser, le aspirar a ganar la Copa del Mundo? Y con un Cristiano, a lo mejor como mucha gente piensa, no en plenitud, pero claro, con las ganas y la intención de demostrar que sigue siendo uno de los más grandes de toda la historia. Digamos, buscando un poquito a Cristiano, donde está en el calentamiento. Y sí, digamos, aquí estamos con la cantidad de prensa que se ha visto en este entrenamiento a lo que hemos visto en los otros complejos es impresionante. Medios de todo el mundo que obviamente quieren hablar de actualidad de Cristiano. Cristiano, el fenómeno que es, lo hemos visto con aficionados ayer en la llegada, aficionados de todo el mundo. Había de Corea, había de Japón, había de Inglaterra. Todo el mundo quiere saber de Cristiano Ronaldo y obviamente de la selección portuguesa. Sabemos que este fenómeno de Cristiano es mundial y ha demostrado año con año por qué, porque ha sido uno de los más grandes futbolistas que ha pisado un césped, y esperemos que en Qatar pueda seguir demostrando toda la calidad que tiene en sus otras. Recordemos que Portugal va a debutar ante Ghana y vamos a seguir viendo un poquito aquí el entrenamiento. Los atletas están de la derecha, están separados del grupo principal, a los diferentes que tiene que llevar un arquero, mientras del otro lado del campo están los jugadores arqueros titulares y suplentes haciendo el famoso torito, ¿no? Con toques rápidos, jugadas al primer toque, intentando demostrar velocidad y control en los pies. Vamos a ver qué es lo que puede ser para este grupo, porque no es nada fácil el grupo H. Por el sur es un lugar complicado, como es su está Ghana y está Uruguay, y ahí podemos ver a Cristiano Ronaldo. Para todos los aficionados que preguntaban dónde estaba el bicho, ahí está, lo vemos en el canal tranquilamente. Para demostrar que está completamente al 100 y puede estar disponible en lugar si así lo quiere. ¿Ustedes creen que Cristiano pueda seguir esa racha anotadora y convertirse en uno más grandes de la Copa del Mundo? coméntenlo en los comentarios. Vamos a seguir esperando un poquito a ver si podemos ver otro tipo de la práctica y estar les comento también que el horario del partido de Portugal contra Ghana, que será a las 7 de la noche de tiempo local en Qatar, y hoy 10:30 de la mañana tiempo del Este y 7:30 del Pacífico, y obviamente lo podrán ver a través de Telemundo y Pico TV. Sigamos viendo, ahorita el mundo está también circulando en redes sociales para seguir con el calentamiento. Creemos también que Joao Félix está partiendo bien con mucho sabor a revancha, después de también la situación que está pasando en el Atlético de Madrid, donde no sé, me parece que está siendo desperdiciado por un jugador de ese talento y no está cómodo el portugués, y supongo que aquí tendrá una oportunidad de revancha y demostrar todo lo que puede llegar a hacer y demostrar toda la calidad que tiene. Y vamos sigamos viendo cómo están los grupos. También mencionaba Bernardo Silva que están por la Copa del Mundo, que realmente el nivel de muchos jugadores que están en el Premier League que ha elevado a Portugal, que tienen bases sólidas y un gran equipo para poder aspirar, como ellos dicen, a hacer una selección histórica.
Amigos, pues estamos aquí en el entrenamiento de la selección de Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo presente hoy en el entrenamiento aquí desde Qatar.
Siguiendo la transmisión a través de Telemundo Deportes y Pico, les vuelvo a mencionar los horarios donde ponen el partido y el debut de la selección portuguesa y de Cristiano Ronaldo en este Mundial de Qatar 2022, en el cual será frente al Pacífico, y recuerden que lo podrán ver en Telemundo y Pico TV, porque la cobertura del Mundial, el Mundial Telemundo, porque el Mundial lo es todo, es a través de Telemundo Deportes. Ahí te pones la ubicación, ponle la ubicación.
Amigos, ¿cómo están? Estamos aquí en el entrenamiento de la selección de Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo presente hoy en el entrenamiento con la selección en vivo desde Qatar.
Pero sí, lo vi esa noticia. ¿Puedes cambiar la portada? No, lo puedes cambiar de portada y dígale si quieres también. Personal cristiano,
Thank you guys. Let's start to pack it. It's almost 15, okay?
Okay.
João Felix is doing recovery in the gym with 5 other players. Yeah, they're recovering for the game then. Okay?
Thank you.
Guys, please, it's time. Move out, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Time to move out.
challenge, but it's won back well by Kudos in the midfield. I don't think that Ghana are phased here by taking on these Portuguese players. They've got a lot of experience.
Yep.
Of players who've played at the top in Europe. You know, they're going to look to Kudos, they're going to look to Thomas Partey, and of course the experience of Andre Ayew.
I think you also have to accept a little bit as well that you're going to be without the ball for a period of time. When you look at Portugal's team, that technically they're just so gifted. And you mentioned about positions, about writing them down where they're going to play. This front five or so will just drift all over. They'll just find space. You'll have the freedom to roam. Yes, out of possession, they'll take their shape. But when they've got the ball, expect Bernardo Silva, you know, Fernandes, João Felix, just to pop up anywhere, really.
Well, certainly just to put it in context, what the challenge is for Ghana as the ball is played forward and just a little bit too far ahead of Inaki Williams as he had tried to beat the offside trap. It might have just got a little touch away if it's from his right foot and through towards Costa, the goalkeeper. But Ghana are the lowest ranked team competing at this World Cup. They are the least experienced squad with a combined tally of 483 caps. And then when you think of that 483, take away the 109 previously for Andre Ayew, and then Jordan Ayew with his 84, and that then just goes to show as well how much those two have given weight to that tally of 483 in this, the Stadium 974. And you might well indeed be listening on medium wave or the good old wireless of 909 and 693. But of course the future is BBC Sounds, and if you haven't got yet the app, then do so, because you can listen to the commentary, the World Cup Daily, and plenty of World Cup material. And for somebody who didn't do well at maths, that'll be enough for the numbers tonight, I think. 0-0, which is the most important digits of all, as we've been playing for 17 minutes. Bruno Fernandes to Cancelo on this near side. The return ball from Ronaldo, easily seen there first by Salisu and cut away, but that loose ball is picked up by Cristiano Ronaldo. Back to Bruno Fernandes, who spreads play from the right to the left-hand side. Guerrero running forward. Otavio has now gone out wide on that left-hand side. João Felix has gone central. Bruno Fernandes is just outside the penalty area, and lurking ominously is Cristiano Ronaldo on the edge of the box as the ball is played out to Cancelo. Bernardo Silva makes a run. It's an arcing ball in. It's headed away by Salisu. And then Kudos. Again, it went away from in the first touch, but he won that next duel against João Felix. His forward ball is taken on now by Thomas Partey, who plays the ball out towards this near side. And it's kept in play. And then the return ball from Thomas Partey, who was getting forward, was just a fraction too far ahead of him from Baba Rahman.
He looks sharp though, Kudos, doesn't he? I mean, he's got this turn of pace. Even if he does have a slightly heavy touch, his reaction to go and get it again is so explosive. He's got a lovely left foot on him. I think he's that kind of dynamic player that might be a little bit, you know, unpredictable at times, but can certainly be super effective.
Certainly one of the more creative players, should we say. Of course, Everton wanted him in the summer, and he wasn't allowed to leave Ajax, and there was that sense of disappointment. Anyway, he's got his head down, he's focused once more on helping out at the Ajax cause, and 9 goals he scored for the Dutch club during the campaign so far. Neves far side the left, 10 yards in from the touchline, switches play to this near side the right. Cancelo plays it forward, coming across was Otavio, and then Cancelo plays the ball back, and it's a lot of the ball. It's a good pace, not a quick pace, but it's still a decent pace from Portugal playing at the minute, bringing the passes together, and therefore Ghana have got to be extremely patient. And the flags are flying with a black star in the middle of that yellow stripe on the national flag.
They've got to try and get hold of the ball as well, though. I mean, it's hard to go a full game playing like this against a team of this quality. Sooner or later, just that little lapse of concentration. I mean, possession-wise, it's just incredibly one-sided at the moment. Ghana just sat off. Portugal have got the ball the whole time, just probing, little bits of movement. I just think the longer the game goes, you're just going to get more and more opportunity for Portugal to get the ball in key areas.
Quick free kick has been taken for Portugal midway through the Ghana half. Neves finds Ruben Dias inside the centre circle, and then he goes square to Danilo Pereira, and back with Ruben Dias. Cancelo on this near side on the halfway line. Ghana decide just to press, 3 players breaking out. Samed in the midfield, Rahman the left wing back, and Inaki Williams who leads the line, and it forces Portugal back as the ball is hit now long by Danilo Pereira, and then it's a cushion header forward, and then just able to turn, and the ball is now with Salisu. That was Daniel Amate, who plays on the right side of the 3, and just trying to usher Seydou to go a little bit further out wide to give him maybe an option as a right wing back. As now it's on this near side for Jiku to bring the ball forward. Danilo Pereira heads it out towards Guerreiro, the left back. Nuno Mendes, who's been a doubt leading up to this World Cup. Paris Saint-Germain, the outstanding left back. He had a hamstring injury in early October against Benfica in the Champions League. So for Nuno Mendes, just not wanting necessarily to take a risk on him. That's where we talk about the strength in depth. I mean, Diogo Dalot, who's had a decent season for Manchester United, unable to start. They've got the experience of Pepe and William Carvalho, João Palhinha, Mateus Nunes, 2 players you might have seen for Fulham and Wolves in the Premier League. Rafael Leao of Milan. I mean, they have got so many options, Matt.
You've just gone through the goalkeepers as well. I mean, the strength of the experience they have in goal, all over the pitch. I mean, I think defence is an interesting thing to look at in this tournament in terms of what teams are really looking solid in a back 4. Saw Germany the other night, and we've seen other teams, and you look at Portugal and think this Portuguese back 4 actually does have real potential to be very solid. Like you say, you've got great strength at left back position. You've got Cancelo, Ruben Dias, you know, really good defenders playing at top clubs in Europe and some in the Premier League, and put it all together, it should be something special.
Kudos with the forward ball. Just came to him quite quickly, but he just opened up his body, hit it short forward, left-footed with a pass towards Inaki Williams, but quickly just squeezing like a vice-like grip at the back of that defence, snuffed out the opportunity. Otavio scoops it forward for Portugal, comes off the head of Daniel Amate, runs out to João Felix, left corner of the area. Back with João Felix once again, and the cross took a deflection there, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick.
Do you not find when you see the likes of Fernandes, Silva, João Felix, when they all start getting together and linking in play, it's like a five-a-side, isn't it? They're like flicking the ball up in the air, scooping it over someone's head. It's quite hard to do, you know what I mean? It's like to defend against you. You just got to not overcommit, I think, and that is exactly what Ghana are not doing. They're not getting too tight. They're not being robust. They're not actually being too physical with Portugal in this game so far. They're just being cautious, not committing, and just waiting and see what Portugal do.
Well, of course, if they were to get a point, that would be a great result for Ghana. South Korea on Monday is their next match, and then I am sure that everybody, whether it be here in Qatar or back home in Ghana, will be fired up for the revenge match against Uruguay a week tomorrow for their final group game. When you think back what happened in South Africa in 2010, and Luis Suarez with his handball on the goal line, which would have prevented a certain winner in extra time, you would have thought, and then Ghana would have been the first African side to reach a World Cup semi-final. So they will have certainly plenty of incentive a week on Friday. The incentive now is to try and keep this Portuguese side at bay, and midway through the first half, they have restricted Portugal to very few opportunities. I mean, there was only the far post header for Ronaldo that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, and the mistake, which Ronaldo had, the one-on-one goalkeeper came out. I mean, you can see a lapse in concentration or a poor touch or something technical like that is going to open the door to Portugal. If Ghana can be focused, they've got away with one already. But if they can be focused and be disciplined and not make those mistakes in key areas of the pitch, then, you know, Portugal are going to have to step it up to really try and open them up.
Here is Cancelo at a walking pace to Danilo Pereira, out to the left-hand side. Bernardo Silva just in from the touchline now, midway through the Ghana half. It's still 0-0 if you're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live between Portugal and Ghana. Forward ball, Bruno Fernandes had made the run, but it was a long, diagonal, searching ball, one bounce, and away from Bruno Fernandes and out for a goal kick that Ghana again takes short. Played out towards the right-hand side for Daniel Amate. He goes long along the ground towards Andre Ayew, pushes the ball back, and then in fact Seydou has gone down with a blow to the head there. And so just checking on him will be the American referee Ismail Elfaf, who's just going to make sure that he is okay. By the way, with all the football that we've got for you, we've still got another commentary for you to come tonight. Brazil, many people's favourites for this competition against Serbia. That's a 7 o'clock commentary, and in fact for that game you can watch that with 5 Live commentary. Just look for the World Cup Extra on the BBC iPlayer. And with another 4 games tomorrow, including Wales and England, and then another one on Saturday. But we've also got boxing for you this weekend. In and amongst all the football, 5 Live boxing returns on Saturday. Dillian White against Jermaine Franklin at Wembley. Coverage from Saturday night at around 10:15. But this is the World Cup. Every game live on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And when Mark Chapman said yesterday it's either feast or famine, and we've had a goalless draw already, Uruguay, South Korea. Just the 1 goal in Group G between Switzerland and Cameroon. And at the minute it's 0-0. We are still awaiting the first goal in this game as the ball is played forward. And Cristiano Ronaldo was challenged by Zico. The referee plays the advantage. Bernardo Silva out towards Guerreiro. First time cross from the left-hand side. Flying header away by Daniel Amate. Seydou on that far side, goes short, diagonal ball, looking to try and turn, almost caught there as Portugal press, back with Daniel Amate towards Partey. It's a bobbling ball on the edge of his own penalty area. He was being hunted down there by 3 Portuguese players, but he wasn't phased, got it back to Atizigi, the keeper, who cleared long.
Well, they're not panicking at all, are they? Under real pressure from Portugal, trying to press and win the ball back in the attacking third, but Ghana keeping their composure. Maybe a little bit risky at times. I mean, Thomas Partey, obviously very experienced player in receiving the ball on the edge of his own box and with his back to play, knowing what's coming. But like I said, we've seen it once, but you just feel that a little lapse there or a loose touch and Portugal are going to be right onto it.
Sometimes they can be slow starters, Portugal, in a World Cup. Their record at games in their opening fixtures not necessarily great, as the cross comes in from Bernardo Silva. And in fact, 2006 was the last time that they won their opening fixture. It was against Angola. 1-3, drawn 2 and lost 2 is their record before today. Cancelo with the cross over the head of João Felix, kept alive by Bernardo Silva, pulls it back, and João Felix leaning back just inside the penalty area, central position, left-footed, couldn't keep it down into the Ghanaian support behind that goal kick 0-0.
Surprised he took it first time there, to be honest. I mean, it was a nice cut back from Bernardo Silva, picks it up at the back post, sees João Felix drop onto the edge of the 18-yard box, but his body weight is already shifting away from the box as he's tried to hit and swivel and hit it first time with his left foot. Really difficult, leaning back a bit as well. If he had a touch, I think he had time to have a touch actually, probably could have set himself for a better strike on goal.
Certainly João Felix, and in fact I was with Chris Sutton when he made his debut in Porto in the Nations League 3 years ago against Switzerland. Sometimes I can't help but feel that he hasn't necessarily hit the heights yet on the international stage. I mean, 3 goals in 24 appearances so far, still waiting for him to maybe blossom.
Absolutely. I think, you know, hugely talked about and the talent, but no, I agree, he's not really made his mark yet on this level with Portugal.
£113 million he left Benfica to Atletico Madrid, and only 3 goals in his 17 appearances for the Spanish side this season. Ghana are forward, Rahman, low ball in from his left wing-back role midway through the Portuguese half. That's a good header forward by Salisu, but it's played forward by Neves. And as maybe now those white shirts of Ghana had gone forward, it might give an opportunity for Portugal to try and get forward, and as it's played into Bruno Fernandes, he goes down under a challenge from Abdul Samed in the midfield. The American referee, I don't think he's going to take any action against the Ghanaian midfielder, but he will give a free kick to Portugal.
Well, I think he's pretty lucky there, Abdul Samed, to be honest. I think it's quite a clumsy foul. He's not aware that he's got Raymond recovering for him, otherwise he didn't need to foul him, but he certainly blocked Bruno Fernandes. Really cynical. Referee was right there. He's chosen not to book him, which is good for him, because I think he'll have a few more of those situations as this game goes on.
Decent atmosphere though inside the stadium. I know some of them have been a little bit flat, but this one with the horns and the constant beat to the drum.
We had a bit of atmosphere outside the ground as well, didn't we?
Certainly did, yeah.
Thought you were going to drop a few dance moves at one moment with the Ghanaians. Okay,
my love for Ghana doesn't extend to my dancing. I wouldn't inflict that on them. Half an hour played. Free kick to Portugal. You're listening to 5 Live. It's a long, flat, diagonal ball by Bruno Fernandes. Neves is up against 2 players, and it's going to be cleared away by Seydou on that far side. He was being helped out by Inaki Williams, as Andre Ayew currently leads the line for Ghana. Ball then is hooked back into the direction of Cristiano Ronaldo, who turns away from his man. Cristiano Ronaldo puts the ball in the back of the net, but the referee has already ruled it out for offside. And it would have been a record-breaking goal for Cristiano Ronaldo, and there is a dismissive wave of the hand from a scowling Ronaldo, who is adjudged to have fouled Djikou. In the build-up to that goal, there was a nudge from him, and in fact it's not even going to be looked at by VAR because play is already underway.
Does that look a bit soft to you? It was just not a lot in it from Ronaldo, was there? I mean, you'd expect Djikou to really stand his ground there. I think he kind of almost bought that foul a little bit, went down very easily. There was a push from Ronaldo, but it was a little bit of a kind of 50-50 shoulder-to-shoulder shrug kind of push from Ronaldo. I can see why he's a little bit frustrated with that.
I thought that Alexander Djikou just lacked a little bit of strength. I mean, well, you tell me, you're the former central defender.
You'd expect him to stand his ground there and actually deal with it, to be honest, and be able to hold Ronaldo off and deal with the ball, but he just went down really easily once Ronaldo put his arm across him and shoved him. And the referee obviously looked at that and saw it as a foul, but I wasn't sure if there was that much contact.
He's fired up, and he might be fired up even more, Cristiano Ronaldo, as this time even stops playing because he knows he's got the free kick. Of course, he's dominated the headlines with his contract being terminated by Manchester United. So without a club, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo now, but desperately will be wanting for what will be at 37, you would think, his final World Cup appearance. I know Roger Miller went on to the age of, 42? Cristiano Ronaldo, where will he be? Well, where will he be in 4 days' time or 4 weeks' time, let alone 4 years' time? 32.5 minutes played, 5 Live and BBC Sounds, 0-0. Portugal and Ghana here. 5 Live at the World Cup. Free kick, Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes are the two to take it. Bernardo Silva walks away. It's Bruno Fernandes. It was aimed towards the head of Danilo Pereira before it was headed away by Andre Ayew for a looping header and out for a Portugal corner kick far side, goalless.
Well, this is where it's going to be interesting as well, the organisation from Ghana to deal with any kind of set plays, just making sure they're switched on, taking responsibility. It'd be interesting if Portugal do play it short, which they do very quickly.
Corner's taken short left-hand side. Now it's played back. Flat ball comes in, good handling from the goalkeeper. Atizigi came off his line. Had to go a little bit towards his left-hand side, but it was a good two-handed take. Underarm throw out to Rahman, who now gets the ball back on this near side from Abdul Samed.
I never see too much point in playing the corner short and then crossing it from that position. I don't quite get that. I mean, I think it's, from a defender, you're already coming out, and it's probably easier to defend that cross than it is one direct from the corner flag.
Former England international defender Matt Upson offering the insight on the art of defending. It's just over 10 minutes to go to half-time, and it remains 0-0. But Portugal have certainly dominated with the possession.
It must be unbelievably weighted towards Portugal, the possession. I mean, Ghana They've rarely had the ball, only on turnover and breakaways, and then it's straight back to Portugal, and they just continue doing their thing.
62% possession. Here is Ronaldo turning midway through the Ghana half. Kudus, though, dispossesses Neves with a sliding challenge, plays the ball out towards Seydou on that far side, the right. He'll go back to Daniel Amate.
Have you noticed with their stats, they do like a in between where the ball's out of play, don't they? I saw that the other night.
Right.
So it's not a clean 100% split between each team. So it's quite interesting on some of them, because it would be more than 60%, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in fact, that would explain why the possession control for Ghana's at 29%.
Yeah, you said your maths wasn't that great.
I know that's wrong. 0-0.
Any more numbers?
No.
974.
Yeah. Do like, though, I didn't realise that was the national dialing code for Qatar. Often wondered why it was 974 shipping containers that had been used as in the construction of this stadium.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
That will be dismantled, a 40,000 capacity after the World Cup. Otavio floats it forward. Good defending by Amate to head it away. He looked offside, did Ronaldo, but again he was just lurking behind Amate. Felix, central position, checks off the ball. Shot comes in from Otavio, but it's along the ground, right-footed, edge of the area, and again comfortably claimed by the goalkeeper. And I don't think there've been too many scares for Ghana.
No, not at all. Portugal haven't really got into their rhythm. They're not really threatening as much as what you'd expect. They're lovely to watch. When you see them play those little triangles, like I mentioned earlier, it's like a five-a-side type football, isn't it? Scooping the ball over people's heads, playing little 1-2s, trying to nutmeg people's. It's very clever, but it hasn't produced much in this game so far. And if Ghana are patient and they don't buy into it too much and overcommit, they're going to have to ask something a little bit different of Portugal.
Well, they've been whipped up now. The Ghanaian support away towards their right-hand side as they look down the field and we look towards our left. Ghana have got themselves a corner. I think initially Seydou thought it was a throw until the assistant referee instructed that no, it was a corner kick. He was preparing to take a throw down by the corner flag, and now running across is Kudus to take the corner. Portugal have got everybody back. What can Ghana do at this set piece? 0-0, 5 live. Kudus, in-swinger, headed out of the near post by Neves for Portugal. Back to Kudus with the cross. It's a good ball in as well. And it comes off the head of Bruno Fernandes and behind for another corner kick, except this time it's on this near side that Ghana left.
He's got a nice left foot. Kudus really whips it in well. It's a good delivery, a great opportunity for Ghana actually just to show their physicality a little bit and put Portugal under pressure, which they haven't been in this game at all in terms of defending their box.
Jiku is up from the back, Salisu is there, Kudus now waits on the edge of the area. It is going to be Baba Rahman to take this corner kick on this near side the left, all in white, playing from right to left, so it's going to be an outswing with his left foot. In it comes now, Andre Ayew, beaten in the air by Cristiano Ronaldo. Seydou down into the ground, headed away by Ruben Dias. Danilo Pereira complaining, and in fact the referee spotted an infringement for that challenge on the very experienced Paris Saint-Germain player, and it will be a free kick to Portugal with 6 minutes to go to half-time.
I think there was too much wrong there, to be honest. I think it was Salisu just went into the back of him a little bit, Danilo Pereira. There wasn't too much contact, he wasn't too happy. He's more his own teammate, I think, shoved Salisu, and his momentum just bumped into the back of him, but the referee was happy to give the foul.
Here is Pereira, out to Guerreiro, far side the left, midway through the Ghana half. Back to the bald-headed Danilo Pereira, Ruben Dias inside the centre circle, every white shirt back behind the ball. Kudus snaps into the challenge, Rahman keeps the ball in play, but Portugal now have it. Cancelo's overrun it though, and now with Kudus, whose nice little touch towards Inaki Williams, and Kudus, it was just as the return ball, again too far ahead of him, and he actually never bothered chasing after it because he'd seen that Danilo Pereira was there to mop up for Portugal. Neves looking for the run of Bruno Fernandes. He's hit a ball through the middle. Bruno Fernandes, with his thumbs up, applauds the idea, but it goes out of play for a goal kick, as the 68-year-old Fernando Santos, the coach, is just rubbing and scratching his forehead.
I mean, it's good to see them go a little bit more direct there, and Bruno Fernandes to make that run from out to in and look to get behind, because at the moment they're just not stretching Ghana. Ghana know that they've got these lovely technical players that have the ball to feet, drop into the pocket, play around the edge of the 18-yard box, but no one's really stretching them in behind at all or really asking any of those questions, and it's a little bit comfortable at the moment.
Ball on that far side for Guerreiro, into João Felix. Neves is free now, central position. The red and green shirts of Portugal play the ball out towards the left-hand side. Bernardo Silva, low ball, easily cleared away by Jiku at the heart of that defence for Ghana, and it'll be played back by Danilo Pereira towards his goalkeeper. Tomorrow, of course, 4 more games, and it includes Wales-Iran at 10 o'clock, and then England, the United States at 7 o'clock. So the build-up from 9 in the morning after Rick and Rachel with 5 Live breakfast. Rick Edwards, of course, out here in Doha. Mark Chapman will take over at 9 in the stadium where we'll be watching Wales against Iran. And then at around 3-ish, it's I think it's quite a loose arrangement, bearing in mind of the travel. You never know when Lady Kelly will decide to turn up, but then she'll be joined by John Murray, Rob Green, Micah Richards and Jermaine Genius ahead of England, the United States from 7. And in between, Qatar, Senegal, Netherlands, Ecuador at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock respectively. 4 minutes to go to half-time. Ball through the middle towards João Felix. Headed away. Now they get it forward towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Listen to the excitement inside the stadium as Ronaldo picks up the ball, left-hand side of the penalty area. The return ball to Cristiano Ronaldo, who shoots, and the block coming in from Daniel Amate, and it was a good block too. The crowd certainly came alive there for the presence of Cristiano Ronaldo. They've come to see just one man. Here is Bruno Fernando with a cross that's over the head of Ronaldo. It might fall still to the feet of Ronaldo. He toe-ends the ball towards João Felix, who goes down, but the free kick goes in favour of Ghana, and it remains 0-0.
I think Ronaldo knew the ball was at his feet there. I think it just ricocheted down to him from the cross. Bruno Fernandes got his head up with that right foot, just curled one to the back post, tried to get level back square, and it got kind of jammed between Ronaldo's feet. Didn't quite know where the ball was. It was bouncing around in the 6-yard box.
You don't think that Al Sadd, who the team that Andre Ayew plays for here in Qatar, the supporters have descended upon this stadium. They're trying to send as much love in the direction of Ronaldo to try and sway him to think that he could play his club football here.
Well, it could be an option, couldn't it?
You do wonder where he'll go next.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the difficult thing for him, I suppose. You are potentially limited, aren't you? It depends what he wants, Demo, really, doesn't it? And how he sees the last few years of his career playing out and what he wants to achieve.
Will he go stateside? Will he go to a club competing in the Champions League? Will he go east? Time will tell. As Ruben Neves, as we edge our way towards half-time, and it is still Portugal 0, Ghana 0 in this game in Group H in this 2022 World Cup. Live on 5 Live. João Felix went to ground. Challenge came in from Andre Ayew. Kudos, good footwork by Kudos, good strength too, until he's hauled to the ground and gets a free kick for Ghana. He had very little support and very little options.
I mean, that is exactly what he's all about, this lad. He can react on anything, use his body, nutmeg people, twist and turn out of situations that he's got no right to come out with the ball, to be honest. And like you said, he's got this turn of pace and a little bit of a physicality where he just holds players off, does it really well.
Abdul Samad has given the ball away. Now it's with Bernardo Silva to Cancelo, back to his Manchester City teammate. Comes inside, left-footed short pass. Standing still was Bruno Fernandes. Out to Cancelo, fires over the cross. There were 5 white shirts back inside the penalty area. It goes through the penalty box, collected by Guerrero. João Felix to Neves, 30 yards out, passes the ball now to the right corner of the area. Cancelo waits for the ball to settle, touched it towards Otavio, and the cross then from a tight angle on the right hand side of the box, 6 yards up, diagonally goes over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. And with 50 seconds remaining well, we'll wait to see how much added on time there will be, but it's still 0-0.
It's all a little bit again, just in and around and outside the 18-yard box, almost like a horseshoe around that box, the way Portugal are just moving the ball one side to the other, trying to find that little opening, but Ghana just sticking to their guns, being pretty disciplined. You have to say the back three, they're doing their job, they're locking in, they're coming out and getting blocks at the right time and making Portugal work hard for that opening.
Also Ado, the 47-year-old coach of Ghana, who actually won his 2 games as a player in the 2006 World Cup, has certainly made his side hard to break down here for Portugal, as there's going to be a yellow card there to Kudus for a high boot and catching Cancelo.
That was a really high boot, actually. Kudus didn't need to go for that. It's up the top end of the pitch for him. He's got a yellow card, but it was a bit ambitious for him to try and steal that ball. He really did raise his foot quite high, and Cancelo kicked right through the bottom of his studs.
Chris Hughton, of course, is also part of the Ghana setup, the technical advisor, very experienced, the 63-year-old former Republic of Ireland international. As the ball forward on the left-hand side, and that was a foul by João Felix on Seydou, so it'll be a free kick in stoppage time. And rather refreshingly, just 60 seconds to be added on here. Sometimes you can never tell with the added on times with some of the fourth officials.
I was expecting at least 5 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen so much added on time in matches, just consecutively, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, there has been quite a lot of injury, a few quite bad concussion-related injuries as well, hasn't there, which always do take quite a bit longer.
Ball hit long then. That's Matt Upson who's with us here inside this stadium. One bounce and through to Costa. Portuguese keeper underarm throw out. Bernardo Silva then dropping back inside the D of his own penalty area, and I'm sure that the American referee can't be playing much longer. He's having a little look now at his not once but twice as he's on his left wrist. But play continues, and it's with Bruno Fernandes. Over the halfway line he comes. Now to Cancelo is ahead of him. In fact, they've changed it. They've changed it from 1 minute to 2, I notice. As indeed there is the half-time whistle. And again, a few chances, but certainly this will suit Ghana, the lowest ranked team at the World Cup, denying Portugal, and a scowling Ronaldo will maybe wonder about the goal that was disallowed, Matt Upson.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had the best chance for sure, and maybe probably should have scored, if I'm honest. I think the ball came to him, his touch was a little bit heavy, which allowed Atizigi, the goalkeeper for Ghana, to come out and make a good save. But really, in honesty, Ghana have been pretty comfortable, more comfortable than what I think they would have expected, and it'll be Portugal that will be going into the dressing room right now, sitting down, having a chat with each other and going, we need to come out, we need to inject a bit more energy into this performance, a bit more physicality, a bit more directness at times. It's very pretty, you've got lovely players with the ball, but they need a bit more cutting edge.
And Kelly, the Ghanaian players actually haven't gone off the field of play. They've just had a team huddle in the centre of the pitch, just spoken a few words, and are now breaking from that huddle as they trundle off the pitch, whereas Cristiano Ronaldo, he was straight away down that tunnel, not happy with that disallowed goal at all. Portugal 0, Ghana 0 at half-time.
Dano, thank you very much. And as you've both been saying, Matt, this will be a first half that Ghana will be happier with. But when we think of Ghana, and a lot of the talk in the build-up was about their amazing fans, the dancing and the energy that they bring to any World Cup that they're at. It's not the same type of football that they play on the pitch. We don't necessarily see... I mean, the support would seem to suggest that the football would be exciting, front foot, kind of bouncing football. And it isn't like that.
No, No, and if I'm honest, it's a completely different game to what I was anticipating as I was coming to the stadium today. I was thinking about how it might play out, and what you've described there is what I was picturing, Kelly. I was picturing, you know, Ghana being a bit more high octane, you know, smashing into some tackles early on, maybe a couple of bad fouls, and really